Show with Professor Temi of MyITUniversity, a multi-award-winning tech CEO, career coach, and mentor. With decades of hands-on tech career, will ensure your career dreams come true. Join our extraordinary show today on groundbreaking topic for a successful career. Do you want a $100,000 job as a cybersecurity professional, Scrum Master, Business Analyst Software QA, Cloud Architect, Data Analyst, Technical Recruiter, and more? Visit www.myituniversity.com to schedule a call. Come and get inspired to secure a lucrative job, keep the job, and grow on the job. Relax, receive, and see results. We're glad you're here. Share, like, and comment.
Hi everyone, I hope you're all doing well today. Thank you for joining us on your Break Into Tech show. My name is Professor Temi of MyITUniversity, and I'll be your host today. Thank you for always being here with us all over the world where you're joining us. I greet you according to your time. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, good night, wherever you're joining from. Today, we're going to be discussing about hack your careers. And it's an interview series that we're having with our mentees that have become mentors now, doing very great things in tech, in cybersecurity. I would like you to hear from them and see, what I want you to see through their lenses, what they do day to day and how they broke into tech and what you can also do to break into tech. So we'll be having this series discussing, and that will actually guide you all that are interested into breaking into tech. That will guide you into what you can do, how you can prep yourself, and how you can also know that this is not a rocket science and you can do them. Many a time you see these gentlemen, ladies from different backgrounds that are not even related to tech, and some of them don't even have any tech background, and they're broken into tech and doing great things. Meaning that everything I've been telling you so far on this platform is real. You can break into tech, you can do great things in tech, because you are pretty much standing on the shoulders of giants. So that's one thing you have to note. So thank you. If you are trying to break into tech, don't hesitate. You can reach out to me, schedule a call with me. Our website is scrolling down right there, www.myituniversity.com, or you can just text me on the number 240-350-6159. I'm going to get started, and a quick introduction from me. I've been in tech for 3 decades. I love to give back into empower the communities. I have a lot of certification, many degrees in tech, in cybersecurity. I've done everything in tech, 360 degrees, and I love to give back, many awards as well. You can look through my bio or my profile to learn more about me on Instagram. It can be on Facebook, on LinkedIn, and on YouTube as well. And also feel free to subscribe to our channel and follow us. So we're going to get started discussing and guiding you into breaking into tech. Many a time you see people saying, no, people tell us to break into tech. Nobody's showing us actually what to do to break into tech. Here we hold your hand and we show you what to do to break into tech. That being said, I'm super excited to invite my guest today, and he's going to introduce himself to you all, and you will get to meet him. So I'm going to introduce to you my guest today, and I'll allow him to introduce himself. Welcome.
Thank you, Professor Temi. Thank you to our viewers as well for tuning in. My name is Harry Ogunleye. I am a cybersecurity engineer, CISSP and TIA Security Plus certified. I am glad to be here. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Harry, for being here today. I have a couple of questions to ask you, and I'm sure a lot of lovely audience will also be asking questions, but they can leave the question and we can always answer the question later. My question to you is that what inspired you to pursue a career in cybersecurity, and what do you love most about it?
Okay, thank you very much, Professor Temi. Cybersecurity as a career was not my first choice. I have a first degree from a Nigerian university in geology. and I have been doing businesses before now until a few years ago that I ran into your profile and it got me interested in IT as a whole and cybersecurity to be specific. I remember picking up my phone, calling you, telling you what I'm trying to do, and you kind of encouraged me. You said, yes, I can do it. You're a smart man. At the initial stage, what I was thinking was, let me learn cybersecurity and try to add it to my chain of businesses. Fortunately for me, in 2019, to be specific, there was COVID. And on a visit to the US, I got caught up in the lockdown. And I happened not to be able to go back to Nigeria for almost 9 months. I just thought about it. What am I going to do that will be remarkable just for the fun of it during this lockdown so that I don't just waste my time and my life? So, and having spoken to you, I decided to register first for the CAP program, that is the Certified Authorization Professional.
Which is now GRC.
Oh, it is now called GRC. Good.
Yes.
Uh, that is my original motivation. But as I got into it, it became very interesting. It became more interesting. I just kept going and going, and here I am today. Thank you to
Very
God.
good. Very good. Very good. Thank you so much for taking the opportunity to take a step of faith and believing that, hey, let's give it a shot. And I remember when you called me and said, well, maybe I'll just use it for my business. I'm a businessman. And I was like, okay, let's see. And then you got into you love it. And I'm like, I think I can try this. I think I can work with this. And you said, I remember you said at the time, I would just say, I don't want to go back yet. Let me find a job. And then you got a job, and then first job, then second job. And now you're doing great things over there in the field. So I'm so grateful for that. So, how do you think cybersecurity contributes to the society, and what impact do professionals in the field make?
Very interesting question. Cybersecurity as a profession. We are like the vanguard of the digital network of the world wide web. Because without the cybersecurity professionals, who will be guarding the networks, who will be guarding our data? So it is our contribution to the society to make sure that people feel safe when they're in the digital space and that they are very confident that whatever they are sharing in the digital space, we are protecting them, we are guarding it like a guard. And other than that, we create confidence that whatever is shared, whatever is in cyberspace is protected. And we also keep criminals at bay because they know we are always watching. We are always protecting information. We are protecting the network. So we make very valuable contribution to the society.
Thank you so much. And we are it's like we're using an analogy of saying we have physical security, they guide the building. Now we guide the cyberspace, we guide the infrastructure. And when I talk about infrastructure, we're not just saying the computer, the servers, we're talking about the data. The data is the end product of every project, every program. So we're getting not only the infrastructure, but the data as well. Because you cannot guide the infrastructure and the data is out. So the data is very important, and we are the guardian of the whole. It's like you have a castle and you have guardians. Like I always say, there used to be cyber war, but I mean there used to be real war, like physical war. Right now it's on cyber, it's online. The war has gone online. So thank you so much for using that analogy. Another question we might want to have, and I want people to sit closely because we're still going to see what Mr. Harry does day to day, like going into, what does the whole job look like. So you're going to learn a lot from his side. So just wait closely. We're going to get into that, and we're not going to waste your time. It's going to be a wonderful discussion. Mr. Harry, let me ask you, what are some of the common misconceptions about cybersecurity that novice individual may have? Some people are novice, They don't have any tech background. They have never been in tech and they believe, well, maybe I cannot even do anything with tech. They have some misconception. What are some of those things that you have seen out there?
Yeah, there are people who have misconception. It's not unusual because I had mine before I overcame them. One of the misconceptions that I had, which I think might apply to a lot of people, is that it's a very expensive project, which to an extent, when you look at it on a broader scale, it is expensive, but relating with you the fact that you allow people to pay instrumentally and the fact that you also give discounts, you do promotions, made me overcome that particular issue. Another misconception that a lot of people might have is that they think this is too difficult for them because they didn't have a computer background. And as far as I'm concerned, that something is difficult doesn't mean it is impossible. Any problem can be overcome. And the way you teach, the way you mentor, makes it an issue that can be overcome. It is not as difficult as most people do. They think it is a function of applying yourself to it. And finally, because people don't understand what is involved in this training, is another issue. But by the time they talk to you, you explain to them, or you expose them to mentees and mentors, you expose them to one another. I think that is something that can be a misconception that can be properly corrected. But they are always there at the back of those who may not know.
Okay, thank you very much for that. And so people always believe that you need to have a college degree in tech, or do you need to have maybe some exposure to tech to break into it. And they believe that there's coding and scripting. So I would tell people there's no coding or scripting in cybersecurity. You don't have to have a college degree in cybersecurity. You don't have to have any college degree in any of that. You can break into cybersecurity and you can do well with it. Have you done any coding in your role? Have you done anything? Do you have to struggle to get in since you don't have an IT background? How is this transition for you getting in your first day? How did your first day look like?
Okay, thank you, Prof. There is the fear, or which are unconfirmed really, that you have to have a degree in computer science before you can go into cybersecurity. No, that's not true. As I mentioned earlier on, my first degree was in geology from the University of Benin. But when I decided to go into technology, funny enough, throughout my 4 years in the university, I didn't have any interaction with computers because they were just not available at that time. And I owned a personal computer before I became a cybersecurity engineer. But I only did what everybody would like to do on computer, check my email and surf the net. I didn't do anything technical like cybersecurity. So it is not really too relevant that you have to have a background in computer to break into cybersecurity. And as for the issue of coding, I was really afraid of that because I had no exposure to any form of scripting or coding. So it was always at the back of my mind. But I found out since I started my first job up till now, I've not had to deal with any requirement to code. And when I was actually job searching, any job that requires coding, I would tell them upfront, I don't do coding. If you are going to need people to go and hire programmers, that's their job. Yes, so it's not required as a cybersecurity engineer.
Okay, very good. Exactly. So thank you. So coding, scripting is not required.
No.
You don't need to have any IT background and all of that to break in. That is
That's right.
excellent. And people always think also that you have to be certain age to break in. You have to be 60 or less than 60 or 50 or 40 or 20. Is ageism a problem in cybersecurity? Because I always tell people ageism is always a benefit. What do you think about that?
I don't think age should be an issue. Age is just a number. And the good thing about being an adult to get into it is especially if you have gone through a university degree or some kind of tertiary education. It surely helps because you will have established some form of self-discipline that will allow you to be committed to cybersecurity, to study, not to waste your time, attend all classes. That's one thing I learned when I was in the university. I don't miss lectures. I do my assignments and submit as at when due. So being an adult, you have established a culture of self-discipline, commitment to whatever program or project you have in your hand. So age is not an issue. You can be 60, 70 and still be smart because you pay attention to what you are being taught. And you can be 17, 18, 19, 20 because you are too playful. You may not follow what your professor is giving instruction, or you are too busy trying to have a good time out there. So age was never an issue as far as I'm concerned. It's just a number. As long as you are committed to cybersecurity, you are ready to learn, you are ready to do the practicals, you are ready to ask questions, you should be fine.
Very good. Thank you so much, Mr. Ari. And also I now we're gonna go into a little bit of what is your day-to-day like? And you don't have to go deep into mentioning any company or going deep into all that, but share with us what is your day-to-day like what's your role and what is your day-to-day like starting from as soon as you get to the job. What do you do? Do you work remotely? Do you do hybrid? Do you do just something like that? We want to know because people are out there, they want to know, oh, if I want to break into this role, what would my day be like?
Thank you. Even without being told, as a cybersecurity engineer, there is a limit to what you can say on live television about your
Yes.
job. That's part of the discipline that comes with this profession.
Confidentiality.
Confidentiality. Thank you very much. But in my typical day, first of all, I do a hybrid position. I run a hybrid position right now. But in the past, I have done 100% remote assignment, and I have also done 100% being on site. But right now, I'm on a hybrid role. I go to the office 2 times a week, and I work remotely 3 days a week. On a typical day, I set my alarm to like 7:55 a.m. when I have to be at my desk, whether I am at home or in the office. I log into this network. I try to check my emails to see what will have happened overnight. I check my Teams in case I have messages that I needed to respond to. And after that, the rest of my day is monitoring my network, making sure there is no data exfiltration because my role is incident response management right now. So my role is to monitor the network. If there are issues emanating from any attempted infiltration, login attempts that are failing, or any form of activity that is not within the parameters that is considered normal, those alerts are forwarded to me as the incident response person. And I look at it, analyze it to look at what could have triggered the alert. There are a few tools that we use, including CrowdStrike, Varonis, and what's this other one? Rapid7, which does all the aggregation of the different assets that we have, all the activities on each of those assets, and user activities as well. Any of them that is outside what we call the baseline of what is considered normal, I get alerted and I respond to it as appropriate.
And you also create reports and stuff like that. So you pretty much
Yes,
use Microsoft Word and Excel for your day-to-day also.
that's right. Once in a while, my direct report of the CIO requests for report on activities, and those are not complicated either, because these tools that we use have functionalities to create reports. All you have to do is to filter specific report that is required, and then you can export it either by email or share it by box or SharePoint, whatever your company uses. You use it to send that report to the individual requesting for it.
Mm-hmm. So they are canned report already. You just click button and it generates report and you send it out.
That's correct.
Very good. Thank you so much for that. So, are there jobs out there right now? People are saying there are layoffs, there's this, there's that. But I always tell people about cybersecurity jobs, we can't even feel it. It's too much. And the more we are going into these things, you see more data breach, you see more scenarios, problem with different, like the one that just happened with the auto dealership, and all sorts of major organization, corporation getting hacked. The more when they need people like us, the more opportunities are open. What are you seeing there with jobs right now? Are there jobs, or is it people misconception true about there are no jobs, there are layoffs?
Even if there are layoffs, they know the kind of people they are going to lay off.
Hmm.
Because organizations understand that they have to secure their data and their network. So we are not the kind of people that are just going to lay off like that and then be exposing themselves to all the tendencies. Because if you lay off your cybersecurity professionals and then you get hacked, you have a ransomware. In fact, the CEO could be sent to prison
Hmm.
for for negligence.
Yes.
So there are jobs out there. It is a function of apply yourself, continue applying until you get your own. There are hundreds and thousands of jobs. Even as I am working, I'm still getting offers. It's just I am comfortable with what I'm doing and I don't want to put myself through unnecessary stress. So there are jobs out there. Don't let that be a source of concern to you. Get your training. If you are committed, get a certification if you can. But that's not really necessarily required to get your entry level position or whatever job you apply for. Once you can convince the hiring manager and the IT people there that you know what you are doing, you won't have a problem. There's a job out there for every engineer.
Hmm. Thank you. And that's what I always tell people. So people will be asking, oh, do we need a certification? I'm not very good with certification. Who is good with certification? I don't understand who's gonna be good with. Nobody's gonna be good with. It's a test.
Mhm.
So we prep you for certification. We prep you for the job, and we help you to break in. We mentor you, coach you, and mentor you. Not just coach you and throw you out. We still keep you, mentor you, coach you, and help you to break in. Our mentoring and coaching is a lifetime support, and that's what we're doing right now. Part of our giving back to the community with the mentors. So that's very important. Thank you so very much for mentioning that. You can always get your certification anytime you want. You don't need to be certified to get in. You can get in without certification. Okay. So, Mr. Harry, what are some of the qualifications that are essential for anybody that is looking to break into the field? Like coming out of the box, coming out of getting started. There are some soft skills, there's some hard skills. What skills? And people always say, "Oh, me, I don't know anything about IT. I don't have any skills." But I always tell people, you have soft skills like communication, collaboration, effective listening, analytical reasoning. What are some, like, give us like three maybe soft skills or maybe hard skill that help you to get in, that you have, that you are using right now, that is just part of you?
The first thing that I would say has been an asset that has helped me so far is the fact that I have been exposed to other areas of life.
Hmm.
I have been exposed as a geologist. I have been exposed as an HR manager. I have been exposed as a business person.
Hmm.
So when I'm sitting in front of people that wants to interview me, there is that confidence that I exude in articulating my position, even when I don't know the detailed technical issues. My first few jobs, I didn't have a certification, but my presentation, my approach, after I've been properly mentored in attending this interview, because I have not been in paid employment for a very long time.
Hmm.
But now that I acquired the needed mentoring, it was easy for me to use my previous experience, the previous jobs I have done, to sit there confidently in front of an interviewer and present and articulate what else that I know. So I will encourage people, all the skills you have acquired in whatever you are doing before, don't throw them in the dustbin because you want to become a cybersecurity engineer. They will still become helpful. Because right now, even my direct report does not have certification.
Hmm.
And he has been in that line of business 10, 15 years.
Wow.
So when I got my CISSP earlier this year, he was like, I have to do something about mine too.
I know.
So I kind of challenged him to go and
Yes,
do something about it.
yes.
So prepare yourself to work with your team. That's very important, to be a collaborating person when it comes to assignments given to you, and also prepare to lead. And
Mm-hmm.
once they know that you have those qualities, it becomes an asset right from your first job. Now I get all kind of added assignments
Mm-hmm.
because whatever has been given to me, I've been able to execute properly. And I'm like, this is now actually part of my job description. My CIO said, well, your job description, you have been doing it very well. That means you can do this one as well. He said,
Exactly.
whatever else you need in terms of staffing, additional help, just let me know. I know you can handle this. So
Wow.
please, your previous exposure to experience in what you are doing before they come in very handy.
Very good. Thank you so much. So the opportunity to rise up to become a manager in the role as soon as you get in is there. Once you get started, you can easily, climb to that level. That's very good. Thank you so much. I also have a question around um, how do you think my IT university program supports you?
Oh, the program has been very supportive. First of all, they exposed me to the possibilities in cybersecurity.
Mm,
And one thing I want to advise people is once you have gotten that initial exposure, you should run with it. You are at this level of professional training. You don't expect to be spoon fed all the way. Once you get exposed to it, begin to follow it up. Once you get mentored, don't take it for granted. Once they give us uh, group assignment, I don't play with it. I was the leader of my team when I was doing my training. I make sure everybody participates. I reach out to them. Some of them we are still in touch with one another up to today. So I want to tell whoever is interested in cybersecurity, please pay attention to the training program. And once you get that exposure, run with it. Don't play with it. Do the practicals. They are very, very helpful. There are tons and tons of video that Professor Temi shared with us. Throughout those COVID season, I was watching them like my own movie. And that
mm,
has been very, very helpful.
very good. Thank you so much. So I always tell people about the structure of our program. Like you mentioned, you were the team leader. So I break things down to the little teeny tiny bits, making sure that everybody can really understand what we're discussing. And I use very simple layman terms to explain the concept. And we divide people into groups, which we call cohorts, with team leaders. So we have groups like maybe 5 students per group, and they get to meet and discuss the class content every week. Then they come back every week. I go over everything they've done and they review their assignment with them, and then we start the class proper. And there's hands-on projects, individual project, and community project. When we finish the class, we start the mentorship, and they do presentation like the one we're doing currently. We do many frameworks. We start with the risk management, federal system, supply chain, third parties, private organization, and so on and so forth. You get exposure to different framework. We don't just do one framework. When you go for some training program, they just do only one particular scenario, one particular organization. We do several organizations. You can work anywhere in the future. When you see any framework, you know exactly what to do. Like the one we're doing right now, we're looking into like Toyota scenarios with maybe like manufacturing, like Walmart. We look like supply chain, third party. We look into like hospitals, banking, energy company, tech companies. It's different scenarios. So when you finish, you can work anywhere, any organization, any company, and you can feel comfortable because you are really working with stakeholders in this project, and you're doing live project for between 4 to 6 weeks to present. So you're able to confidently get those jobs. like we're saying. So thank you very much for that. Um, so Mr. Ari, is there anything that we have not mentioned that you want advice you want to give to anyone that's trying to break into tech? That would be, yeah.
Okay. First of all, I want to advise them because a lot of us think certification is everything. I have gotten the first few jobs. I didn't get my CompTIA certification, which is that one with the red over
Yes.
there. I got it 2 years ago, and
Wow.
I got this one here, the green, just this year.
The
And I have
CSS,
been working
which
the
is the
CISSP.
grandfather framework.
That's the what?
The grandfather framework, I call
Oh,
it grandfather because
that's the
because
grandfather.
Security Plus is the first one.
That's right.
Security Plus is the first one, and the CSSP is the last one. So you got
That's
the first and the last.
that,
Wow,
that's
that's
correct.
perfect right there.
Yes, and if I can do it as a family man, I'm sure anybody can do it. But it wasn't. I didn't have it until several years because they cost money. I just want to stabilize myself and create time. I don't want to be studying for it when I don't have a job because I want the job to pay for the certification, which eventually that was what happened. And I want to encourage them. Don't count the cost. Once you break into it, the six figures are there waiting for you. Because I see people are just comfortable with $25, $30 an hour jobs. And these are very hard labor
Oh,
kind of job. This, in fact, I have to be compelling myself to be standing up. Otherwise, you will sit down at your desk all day. So what I try to do every 2 or 3 hours, I have to stand up, go and walk, and then come back to my desk. Compared to the other kind of jobs that you have to be on your feet throughout the day, and somebody is watching your back. As a professional cybersecurity engineer, you are expected to work either independently or as part of a team. They expect you to monitor your own time. They expect you to do what you are supposed to do without very close supervision. So those are things you should be looking forward to it once you break into tech. Spend the time, spend the money, and then you will enjoy the good times somewhere down the road.
thank you so much, Mr. Ari. And the last question we'll be asking you is, how does this help with your work-life balance? Did you look back now and think like, yes, this is what I want for my life, and I can retire and be happy ever, living happily ever after? Is that your story today?
It has been so far so good, is what I can tell you. I am enjoying my job. I like my colleagues at work. I enjoy working with all of them as a team. And I've had the opportunity to also lead teams since I started this job. I have been able to develop some of those artifacts that you were teaching us. Like I just finished work on our company's incident response plan.
Wow.
Yes, it's about 40 pages documentation, and I used all those resources that you were referencing to us. So it has been a very beautiful work and life balance for me. I I have the privilege to start work at 9 and close at 5 or 6. I also have the opportunity to start at 8 and close at 4. So I chose to start at 8 so that I can still do what I have to do after 4 o'clock. That's why I could do this interview, because I have come to the end of my daily assignment. And I don't have to work weekends, which is a big plus for me. So I encourage anybody who has expressed interest to follow through with it. Don't drop out on the way because you think something is difficult. And we are always there to help each other.
Yes.
We have a platform. Once you get hired, you are going to be enlisted there.
Tech Billionaires Club.
Yes. So if you have any issue at your place of work that you need assistance, directions, or whatever, you bring it there and we discuss it on one-on-one, not necessarily on the platform. Because as cybersecurity engineers, we cannot talk about our roles openly like that.
Yes.
So I have had to help people, and people have been able to help me in the past. So it's always there we are there for each other.
Exactly. Thank you so much, Mr. Ari. We're so grateful that you're able to join us today. Like he's saying, we have a Tech Billionaires Club, Big Tech Nation. Once you get a job, you get into that club. It's on our platform. And if you need any help, you're always going to be helped. And if you're trying to break it, we have a mentoring group. We have the brotherhood and the sisterhood. The sisters group and the brothers group, and we come together every single Saturday for 2 hours for mentorship. You meet the mentors for networking, guiding you, showing you what to do, how to prep you for interviews, resume, LinkedIn, and help you break into tech, keep the job, and grow on the job. So if you're interested to breaking into tech, schedule a call with me, send me a text. We have classes that are starting every month. So don't procrastinate because this year is going so fast. The number is 240-350-6159 or at myituniversity.com. So thank you so very much. I'm so grateful, Mr. Ari, that you're able to join us today. And I wish you the best in your endeavors. I know
Thank
we're
you.
in the tech community together. You know, you are now a mentor as well. So I'm proud of that, and I'm grateful that you're able to continually give back to the community as you're doing. I'll say keep up the good work and may God bless you. Thank you, sir.
It's my pleasure to be here. Thank you
Thank
and
you, and
bye.
have a wonderful day. Bye, everybody. If you have any question, leave it and we'll respond back to you. Thank you, guys, and have a blessed day. Bye.